And first right now here at 11 o'clock on the night team. Donald Trump's new chief of Homeland Security flies over eastern Kentucky flood damage late today, looking it over. Afterwards, we asked Kristi Noem if cuts to FEMA will hurt future natural disaster responses. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. The White House did put Governor Andy Beshear's disaster declaration on the fast track. WHAS11 night team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Emma Gefter covered Kristi Noem's response as she spoke in Frankfurt.
How are you guys? Thanks for coming.
The new United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, entering the Kentucky Emergency Management Center in Frankfurt, debriefing with FEMA officials after touring the devastation in Perry and Knott counties from a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter.
As low as we could get, we did not have a chance to get on the ground because the trip is so quick.
FEMA thanking Noem's team and President Trump's administration for their quick response to the overwhelming damage.
About 2,300 Kentuckians remain without drinking water or power of water.
This map shows the many counties suffering from the flood, most of them in the eastern part of the state. Nearly 300 people are staying in Kentucky state parks. Governor Andy Beshear shared an update separately from Noem, confirmed 23 Kentuckians lost their life, and says the floods of July 2022 are still the worst.
We learned a lot in 2022. Our goal is to make this the easiest process it can be on people who've gone through a lot. Once you've been traumatized by a natural disaster, you don't need to be traumatized by the process after which.
The governor also thanking the Trump administration and Noem's immediate response to the bluegrass state.
There was zero politics played in any of this. They turned it around. They did their jobs, and I'm grateful.
But President Trump has been vocal about making cuts within FEMA's workforce.
And you just mentioned it right there, but I also want to ask, these potential cuts that are coming to FEMA, could that impact the response time in any future scenario?
I don't think there's necessarily cuts. I think that it's going to be reforms that'll make sure that dollars still get deployed to the disasters. If you saw a reduction in spending, it's probably going to be in, less people needed at the administrative level, or less buildings in Washington, D.C., and more of those dollars being able to be deployed down to the local level.
As the secretary shakes the hands within the emergency center, she's leaving with a message to Kentuckians that they're not alone and will continue aid through emergency centers. At the state capitol, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 night team, on your side.
Governor Andy Beshear also says they are working on setting up disaster recovery centers by this weekend. The governor also says they've raised enough money through the special Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund to pay for the funerals for all of the victims of the flooding. So far, more than $400,000 raised through that fund. If you'd like to make a donation, we've got a link to do so right on our website, WHAS11.com. More local news tonight. The estranged wife of imprisoned Southern Indiana Sheriff Jamie Knoll is the final member of the family yet to learn her punishment. It has been over a year since Misty Knoll was arrested, but we're now learning a deal may soon be in place. Misty is accused of spending over $600,000 of stolen firefighters' funds on personal items like travel, makeup, shopping, and her daughter's college tuition. During a virtual court session today, her attorney, Bart McMahon, said they plan to resolve the case on May 21st. That's around the time Casey Knoll is expected to get out of jail after serving 4.5 months. McMahon told us that Casey Knoll is pregnant, and it'd be nice for Misty and Casey to get to see each other before they resolve Misty's matter. Judge Larry Medlock letting them know they're running out of time.
On 5/21, it is final pretrial conference date, and if there's no resolution, I will expect that you will have preliminary jury instructions.
Misty's sentencing date would likely come after a possible change of plea. She's expected to negotiate a deal which would be less than the maximum sentence. Happening tonight, another homicide in Louisville. A man is dead after a shooting in the Jacobs neighborhood. Metro Police say they responded to this shooting on Manslick Road just before 7:30 tonight. When officers arrived, they found a man severely wounded. He had been shot several times. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Anyone who can help detectives can call anonymously at 574-LMPD. New right now on the night team, it's lights out across Kentuckiana when you need those street lights the most, or even your wireless connections. Louisville Metro Police announcing today that they've caught 4 people and recovered more than 300 feet of copper wire that belonged to AT&T on Filson Fields Drive. That's off Preston Highway down near the Gene Snyder. WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Levi Hammer show us how a new task force is hoping to turn the lights back on.
Copper wire thieves in Okolona. Video provided by Louisville Metro Police shows them using their car to pull the wire down.
They're everywhere.
It's one of many topics discussed at this California neighborhood meeting hosted by new Metro Council member Ken Herndon.
There are missing lights that are out everywhere.
This nighttime Sky 11 drone video shows you large stretches of our roads, no lights.
West End Shining Expressway, you go through it at night, it's completely dark.
The issue caused the city to develop a task force back in October of 2024 to combat the issue. The mayor talking about it Wednesday.
We've seen far too many instances of thieves who have stolen copper wire from streetlights, from communication infrastructure.
Even bringing the AT&T president of Kentucky for his second time to a news conference after recent arrests.
Destroying communications lines can keep people from reaching emergency services.
4 people were arrested in connection to this incident in Okolona. Police recovered over 300 feet of AT&T wire.
The dollars spent for repairing vandalism and theft are dollars which cannot be used for future network upgrades or expansions.
A major arrest is made, but with the widespread issue, there are more to come.
They're going to catch those who are responsible.
Although rewards are available for information leading to the arrest of these thieves, some don't know it's happened until it's too late.
I worked downtown for 22 years. They were stolen all the time, and I never saw a single theft in progress.
The city is working to rebuild.
We will make those calls as well.
While police try to stop people from knocking out wireless systems and also stealing the light from the night. Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
While the city is working to improve infrastructure and prevent more thefts like installing solar-powered lights, they're also working with copper wire industry leaders to find ways to prevent stolen copper from being bought and sold. AT&T, by the way, offering a reward for a specific and detailed information, any information that leads to arrest and conviction for copper cable thefts or the attempted sale or purchase of stolen copper wire anywhere in Kentucky. Head to our website, WHAS11.com, for more details about the AT&T reward. Crushing the cars of arrested street racers in Louisville and now doing it across the state. A brand new bill is moving forward and moving toward Kentucky lawmakers today. It passed a key committee today in Frankfort with a change that will allow those cars for fundraising. Now, the bill would make Louisville's street racing ordinance a state law. First offense would be up to a $1,000 fine and impounding the car for 6 months. The second offense would be a $2,000 fine with up to 30 days in prison. Now, the new twist, a street racer would have to forfeit their vehicle to the state to be crushed or auctioned off. The money made would go to the Crime Victims Compensation Fund in Kentucky. Metro Councilmember Donna Purvis visited Frankfort today to speak about the need for such statewide legislation.
I've spoken with several of my constituents who have been impacted by these events of taking over streets, outnumbering law enforcement, and potentially preventing fire and emergency vehicles from getting to homes to render needed attention.
It is getting out of control in Jefferson County, certainly, maybe in your counties as well, but in Jefferson County where people are racing on the streets, where our babies and our loved ones and our citizens are there just to live their daily lives.
Keeping our roads safe is a top priority in the Kentucky legislature. Deadly crashes in Kentucky hit a decade high in 2023. The bill was passed out of the House Judiciary Committee.
People are working hard to tear down the institutions around public education. It is really clear.
Retiring JCPS Superintendent Marty Polio at his final State of the District speech today, calling out both state and federal lawmakers, saying they continue to attack public schools. It comes as Kentucky Republicans in Frankfort consider changes to JCPS, big ones, like splitting up the district into parts or taking control of individual schools. One aims to create a path for incorporated cities to launch independent school districts, potentially separating from JCPS. Cities with at least 5,000 people in Jefferson County would qualify, and here at home that would include areas like Jeffersontown, Middletown, Shively, and Douglas Hills. Another bill would allow the Kentucky Department of Education to take control of underperforming individual schools and to fire teachers and principals.
I would be really concerned about who is going to, it's already a challenge to staff these schools. I'm not sure that's a well thought out plan.
Polio concerned over the pending $1 trillion slashes to federal spending, an effort led by House Republicans in Congress. He says it'll really hurt high poverty districts like JCPS. Well, it was a rare sight today, the controversial billionaire Elon Musk facing reporters in the White House answering questions. He appeared at the first cabinet meeting of Donald Trump's new term. The tension of Elon Musk's slashing of the federal workforce was brought to the table here. The White House says more than 1 million people responded to Musk's emailed ultimatum last week, asking some 2 million federal workers to list 5 things they accomplished or lose their jobs. Musk today defending that email.
I think that email perhaps was best interpreted as a performance review, but actually it was a pulse check review. Do you have a pulse? Do you have a pulse and 2 neurons? So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. We wish to keep everyone who is doing a job that is essential and doing that job well.
I'd like to add that those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble.
Several department heads in the room today told their employees not to reply, including those of the FBI, State Department, and Department of Justice. In defending the actions of DOJ, Musk said that department won't be perfect and is moving quickly to fix any mistakes.